When you think of beer, when you think of an amazing environment, somewhere you just want to like hang out all day, maybe listen to some live music, enjoy some food from a nice food truck, you think of none other than First Magnitude Brewing Company. Hi, I'm Julianne with the Chamber of Commerce. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, so that we know how much you love our videos. This locally owned and grown Gainesville brewery, started by UF people, I mean, how more locally grown is that? Back in 2014, has been a great source of amazing beers, award-winning beers, I will say, and not only to us here in Gainesville, but they're even shipping them internationally. Let's go check it out. Hello! How are you?
I'm great. I am great. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, you know, I come by every now and then.
Every so often.
Just one of my favorite places, so of course I had to share this with everybody else.
I appreciate that.
Of course.
Let's go have a beer.
Yeah. I mean, the natural. All right.
What can I get for you?
I think you know, I always want to try whatever's
I know.
new.
We've got the cores that I know you know. We've got Ursa IPA, we've got a 72 Pale. We just sent 72 to Sweden.
I saw that.
So that's very exciting. We just sent a whole bunch of that beer overseas. But I think the one you might really like is our cold IPA. You wanna try it out?
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think one of like the things I love about you guys the most is that you always have so many new beers to choose from. How do you guys even decide on that?
We make over 100 beers a year to go on tap here.
Yeah.
And we rotate them through. Some of them are small batch, and then some of them we make in bigger batches and we send out to grocery stores, bars, restaurants. A lot of our small batch here is only found here. So this cold IPA is one of those. I think you'll really like it. So I'm doing the honeybee. I love this one because it is made with honey. It's a blonde ale, and actually the honey is solar grown honey. The bees are living in solar farm areas, so they're pollinating the plants that are growing underneath solar farms, so it's habitat for wildlife and then also creating green energy.
That is so neat. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers, lady. I love it.
But we do have to say, speaking of the environment, you guys care a lot about the environment. And I mean, you raised like, what is it, over $72,000 for the springs?
$100,000.
Okay, I was off.
Yeah, we're over $100,000 for the Florida Springs Institute and for different springs education and protection programs. We do that with our 7.2K, the Springs Run, and we do that every January, February. It's now actually one of the largest races in the Gainesville area. We came up with the idea to have people run 7.2K because 72 degrees is the constant temperature of the water in the springs.
Perfect.
We didn't think anybody would run it, and now everybody runs it.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, you guys, where you're located is like a beautiful area of town. I mean, you got the Depot Park right next to you. That's why I come all the time. I'm like, oh, I can walk over here. Maybe even do Birds and Brews. One of my favorite events that you guys do.
Yep, one Sunday a month we do Birds and Brews, and birders from all over and non-birders come out and they walk into Depot with a beer and look at birds and have a great time. I love it.
Throughout the year, how many events do you guys probably host?
We do all of our planning for our events in the 4 months at the end of the year. And we map it out. We have a giant dry erase board inside. And usually 1 to 2, sometimes even 3 big event weekends every month. And a lot of them we do to raise money for different organizations. A lot of them environmental organizations. It's money and awareness.
And people get to enjoy great beer. And then you guys always have good food here too with the food trucks.
I would say our food truck partnerships are one of the things that I really enjoy the most. We've been working with several of these food trucks for many years and seeing their businesses grow, and for us to be able to give a platform for these businesses, small businesses to grow, because we're a small business, helping other small businesses is what we absolutely love. We're celebrating 9 years this year, and it's been a ride where we've got 25 employees. We distribute our beer throughout Central, Northeast Florida and into the Panhandle. Like I said, we make over 100 unique beers just for taps here every year. We have a great team, and it's been awesome.
I think the story behind like you guys starting it is also cool. All of us skaters love to hear that story.
Yeah, well, between everybody here, we've got a lot of degrees from Gator Nation. John and I each have 2, and he was working at the university, and he started home brewing way back, decades ago, because he took a leisure course at Santa Fe and fell in love with home brewing.
That's where it's, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, took a leisure course at Santa Fe,
That's
fell
awesome.
in love with home brewing.
Yeah.
We met in Tampa, and he was brewing, he was making beer to go into our kitchen, and then we moved up here for me to go to grad school in forestry here. And he kept making beer, and it was in our driveway, and we always talked about our 5-year plan. Our friends Wells and Meg came to us and said, "Are you guys serious? Because we'll go in on this with you."
Yeah.
And we said, oh yeah, let's do it. So the 4 of us opened the brewery, and it's been quite the ride. John left his job at University of Florida, and I ended up leaving my job doing environmental consulting work. He runs the brew house, and I run all the rest of the other side of the operations.
All the others?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, we make a really great team. People ask, is that a good idea to work with your spouse? And for us, it really is. We enjoy it. I am amazed and I totally respect all the stuff he's able to do. I think he feels the same about me, so.
We hope.
Working well so far.
Well, I think that it's the balance.
He's head brewer. He knows how to make the beer. He has the vision for the beers, and he really does a great job with it, with him working with his team, with production manager Eric. I mean, they pull off some fantastic stuff, award-winning stuff. Our Vega Blonde won silver in the World Beer Cup, so it's literally the second best blonde ale on the planet. All of our other beers have won major medals in competitions, all of our core beers.
Right.
So Wakulla, Vega, Drift, 72, and Ursa, our 5 cores have all won medals at major competitions. We work hard, we nerd out on it, and we have a really great lab that we actually do a lot of work in and take it really seriously. People think that the beer industry is just a bunch of people standing around going, dude, I'm gonna drink beer, which it is fun to do. But we take the science behind it really seriously.
I was going to say, there is such a science behind it. I mean, because of the fact that you are distributing to stores across the nation as well as across the world now, you kind of have to make sure that every product is the same so that they're getting the same quality.
We are constantly looking at our equipment, our processes, testing the beers, and making sure it's consistent.
How many cans do you think you send out on a yearly basis?
On a yearly basis.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I mean, we have 50 cases on a pallet. And even in a weekly truck pickup, we can send out almost a dozen pallets at a time, easy. We're represented in Orlando by one distributor, we're represented in the Gainesville area by another one, and then in the Jacksonville area by another one. I mean, it's just, we have a whole variety of folks we work with.
I think that people oftentimes forget about the fact that, yes, you're a brewery and you provide this product here and you can come into this fantastic tap room and have a great time, but you're also a top manufacturer in our Greater Gainesville region, which is really cool.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because when people ask me about the job, we have 2 big pieces to it. We're a complete manufacturing facility. So we source, we make, we package, and then sell product here. That's everything. We can it here, we label it here, we do all those things here. And then we have this tap room, so we're a fully functioning pub, and people can come in and try all the beers and enjoy our events and live music and all the different things we have. But it's these 2 big pieces that we're working here. Each of them has their own complexities, but each of them is just really fascinating to me. I love learning about both sides of the business. It's just, there's so many cool things that go on.
Oh, super interesting. And last time that we talked, when we were doing the Pivot series, we were talking about those changes that y'all had made, creating the, drive-through through the warehouse so that people could come and pick up your product and pick up those pilot batches that you had on can and all of that. I mean, since then, which ways would you say those changes that you had incorporated into the business have stuck through the years now?
I would say that one of the biggest changes we made that have stuck is the variety of beers we put into cans. Before the pandemic, we put some things into cans, but not nearly as many as we do now. We're now making cider here. We're making cider in-house. Our team, they came to us and said, look, you know what? We can make cider. We really, let's try this. And we're making in-house cider, and we have a whole bunch of different flavors, fruited and non-fruited. And it's been really fun to see people try it and see what they think of it, and to get the feedback. And it's really tasty. We've enjoyed it.
I think the only thing that keeps people from a brewery is if, they don't, eat gluten, or they just don't like beer, then they just won't come. And it's like, we have options for you. We have options. We have those.
Yeah. Well, and then we let people bring in their own non-alcoholic drinks, but we make our own. We have our own house-made seltzer that we have here, non-alcoholic seltzer. Yeah. We do our own apple sodas. We do our own kombucha here. We've got folks on staff that said, you know what, I can make good booch. So yeah, people ask what some of the original beers we had were, and when we were first doing this, Drift Session Brown was one of our originals, 72 Pale was one of our originals, and Vega Blonde. Those three were three of our original beers that we did and have stayed the course, and those are things that Eric and John had developed, and we've kept with them, and yeah, they're good, they're solid.
Let's pretend I've never been here before, which I know that's a hard pretend, and that I'm not really sure what to order. Like, walk me through that process. Like, for someone that doesn't know beer that walks up to this countertop, what are you gonna say?
So I'll start with one of the things that our taproom team is really, really good at is making people feel comfortable about trying out new things and trying out new beers. And if you're a regular and you come in, they will suggest the new thing that's in the style of what you like. If you're a hophead, they'll give you all the new hops. If you like dark beers, they'll put you in that direction. But if you've never been here and you walk in and you say, I've never been here, or more common, I'm not a craft beer person. We'll ask you what you like to drink. And so if you say, I love Bud Light, then we say, okay, perfect. Let's start you trying this. And so we'll pour samples, and you can have as many samples as you want, and they'll recommend different beers. You try out the different samples, and then when you land on one you like, then you can have a pint.
That's the thing. It's like, you might come in saying you like a Bud Light, but like, how about you try this Drift? Because that you might like.
I would say two of the biggest trends in the craft beer industry right now are sours and hazies. We learned that a few years ago that that's what a lot of people want. So we always want to have on some type of sour and some type of hazy, both on tap and then in package so they can take it home.
What would you say makes you stand out? What's that big difference for First Magnitude amongst the others?
I always say that craft breweries are like siblings. We are all in the same family, but we have very different personalities. For us, well, obviously the quality of our beers. We take it, like I said, so seriously, and so we always have really high quality beers. The other is our space. I mean, we have a really big space here. We've got our air-conditioned tap room. We've got a big warehouse area that is in front of the tanks if you want to look at the tanks. And then we have a giant beer garden with oak trees where we can have live music and all of that. It's really neat to have the space that we have. I would say that the other part is the organizations we support. We don't just say we're First Magnitude Springs focused. We put our money where our mouth is, and we try to put our money where our brand is, and we try to do things that really highlights the importance of protecting our environment and our springs, and then support different organizations that we feel mesh with our branding and our message.
I also love the support that y'all have of local artists, and whether that be local artists that create things or local artists that create music.
Yeah, we have different artists that hang their work at no cost on our walls, and we encourage them to sell their artwork, and a lot of them do get really good sales off of that, which always makes us feel really good. We have a lot of different events, and so we'll have different bands that are performing, a lot of them up and coming. It's nice to have a space where we can be a platform for a lot of these folks to come in and show off their talents. All right, so do you want to go out and take a tour of the warehouse?
Yeah, let's show them all around.
Let's check it out. Come on. So welcome to where the magic happens.
Yay!
You're lucky to be here when we're actually brewing beer right now. So we've got beer going in this tank, and then right here are actually our spent grains. So this is hot. You may want to put your hand in it, but it's warm. It's come straight out of the mash tun here.
It is warm.
And you can eat it if you want to eat it. Look.
What does it taste like?
Try it.
Okay. All right. Oh, tastes like oatmeal.
The spent grains actually go to the University of Florida. They get it to feed their cows. If we have extra, it goes to small farmers who come and pick it up. So no waste.
That's awesome.
And then over here we have our keg washing area. And then over this way, here's our canning room.
This looks familiar. Because this is where we were our last interview.
But now it's in full operation. So
oh, wow.
You guys come on in. So right now we're actually packaging Tiger Eye. And Tiger Eye is our specialty beer that we do just for Animal Kingdom. So this beer gets packaged and sent directly to Animal Kingdom. And it's sold all over there. People ask what our most complicated piece of equipment is.
Yeah.
It's this.
The canning.
A canning line. So this is where we store our blank cans prior to them being filled like we saw in the canning room. We get our printed cans. They come on a semi-truck. Vega, 72, Wakulla, and Drift right here. Ursa's on the other side. So those are the 5 cans that we have printed on a regular basis right now. Yep. And then the silver ones are our brights, and those are the ones when we have specialty beers that we're doing in the tap room. That's we'll sticker those.
Who creates the sticker, like the sticker art?
All of our art's done by Tracy Bachman and Waymaker Communications. She does a fantastic job, and she's been with us from the very beginning. And she's the vision behind all of our brands and all of our art. Let's see what's in here. Yeah. This is our cooler. This is where we store all of our finished product prior to it either going out into distribution or going into the tap room. We have a lot of our beers. We also store some of our hops and our purees that we use for our fruited sours. But everything is labeled and packaged, and you can see exactly what it is, where it's going, when it was packaged. Everything in the brewing industry is regulated, monitored, logged. We have all the information on every single thing that's here.
I also saw that you have the pony kegs of Opus Coffee's like cold brew.
We do. We actually wash Opus's kegs for them.
Oh,
so it's a nice little relationship. They give us cold brew and we wash their kegs. All right. So this is our mural that Jenna Horner did last year for us. It kind of highlights what we're striving for. As I said before, we're 25 employees, and we've been thrilled that we've been able to offer health care for everybody, and we're rolling out a retirement plan this year. You know, for a small business, it's hard to be able to do everything that you want to do, but I feel good about where we are. I think we've made great strides, and we're trying to not only have a fun place to work, but also a place where people can kind of grow.
I think you definitely provide that. Well, thank you so much for having us today. Thank you for a nice cold beer.
Thank you. Love it.
And cheers to that. So if you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, you better get in there because you gotta stay up to date with everything that's great in Greater Gainesville. Ding dong. So how's the best way for people to stay up to date with what you got going on in this great place?
So we actually have a really fun social media presence. Chelsea, who is our marketing director, does a fantastic job. So if you want to check our website, check all our social media accounts, you can always see what's going on, what's coming up, all of our events that are happening, food trucks, etc.
Be there or be square. Goodbye!
Cheers!